who typically stands up and does this part. I am the professional speaker. Teresa's the professional counselor. So very seldom do I go into the counseling room. There have been occasions where we have, worked with couples together. And very seldom does Teresa stand and do this. So we each have our element that we're more comfortable in. But I guess since I went to the counseling room last time, she owed me a trip to the public stage. But I'm not sure this is her favorite thing to do.
It is not.
But I think we've got a lot of good information to share. Let's I won't reread because actually the scripture that was read set the stage perfectly. If you remember, Adam said, "This is bone of my bones," and the Lord said, "That is why a man leaves his father and mother and unites his wife and become one flesh." And that's repeated again, just for your records, in Matthew 19:4-6. It's repeated again in Mark 10:7-9. It's that constant theme. So here's what we're going to try to do tonight. And this is what I tell a couple of times. Since God invented marriage, it would make sense to kind of look at his plan for how we want to be effective in having a great marriage. That would just make sense to me. A man who invented it, the God who invented it would know something about it. So that's, in terms of sharing those things, that's kind of what we want to do with you guys here tonight. So we're going to start with the whole idea of isolation. Isolation, and that's the opposite of oneness. And see, that's how Satan works. Okay, so God has called us to be one, but Satan, in his attempts to be divisive and destructive, attempts to isolate us. And so, guys, what we're going to do tonight is talk about 5 crucial threats to marriages, that if we can identify those threats and not allow them to creep in our marriage, we can have, not only a good marriage. As a matter of fact, one reason that America doesn't have, and forget about America, Jackson, Mississippi, one reason there are not more great marriages is because we have a lot of good marriages. And Teresa and I had from the very beginning, what I think was a very good marriage, but I wasn't satisfied with that. I was like, our marriage can be better. I never wanted to be the person where it was miserable to go home. And in our 26 years of marriage, that's not the way we've been, by the grace of God. So we're going to talk a little bit about isolation. In those passages, there are basically 3 things that we can pull out of that passage about leaving and cleaving. So T, set the stage for us about the 3 things that God kind of calls us to do.
Okay, number 1, which is leave. It's been the case that in the family there are 2 relationships. There's a parent-child relationship, and this is a temporary one. We get them ready to launch them off. We don't want them to stay there. We get them out of the house. There's a husband-wife relationship, and this is the permanent one. This is what God has joined together, and that no man separate, and that comes from them. Problems occur in the family life when these 2 roles are reversed. The parent-child relationship is treated as a primary relationship. And I know women that the children are young, they need our care, and yes, we do, that's our job. We nurture them, we help them, we raise them. But that is not the number 1 relationship. It should be the husband-wife relationship.
And in counseling, Teresa can tell you, we see a lot of instances, like a lot of couples are asking us back in our interest as well, how is it being empty nesters? And I tell everybody, we're having more fun. And we enjoy our kids, we're fortunate, we enjoy our children, but this is a different time of our life, and since we never, guys, let me tell you this, let me make a couple of disclaimers. I don't know any other way than to keep it really real. So when we tell stories, we open up and let you guys see inside our house a little bit. Sometimes Teresa goes home and she's embarrassed. Why don't you tell the story? But I'm not embarrassed. It's not embarrassing. But we share really from the heart. And we see a lot of couples getting in trouble in their marriage primarily because they've always made their marriage about the kids. Now if the kids are leaving, they're kind of in trouble. I used to tell our kids this all the time. Don't make any mistake how you fit in here. You got you got your mother, you got me, and you got y'all. Let's don't ever get this confused. And I was like, that's kind of cruel. But I used to tell kids all the time. I mean, don't ever get confused about how y'all fit in this whole situation. We basically letting y'all stay with us. What's funny now that the kids are older, to hear them repeat stuff, because I used to say this to them all the time, especially when there was a dispute about, we have our little family meetings every Sunday actually, and if there was an issue, kids could bring up what was a curfew or whatever. But when we couldn't come to an agreement, you want to give the kids a voice because you're not training little kids, you're training adults. So I used to say to them all the time, and now they repeat it. We know Dad, he said all the time, y'all stay with me, I don't stay with you. He said all the time. And I used to say, your name is not on the mailbox. And so the point I'm making is, and we have a great relationship with our children, but they understood that our relationship was always primary. And then, even to take it a step further, we modeled that Christ was the head of our home, and our relationship with Him took even precedent over that. And that's kind of how we train. I think it sets a bad example when the kids early on, I know I'm getting off track, but early on, this is one of the first things that dawned on me. Y'all kids do this, because we were newly married at the time, and so kids would come and ask me something. I didn't know they already asked your mom. She said, no, y'all know this. Okay, so early on, about the second time that happened, call a meeting. Okay, guys, here's what we're going to do. The next time you come ask me something that you've already asked your mother, you're getting punished. And we can have the inward talk. I mean, see, it's just simple. Because kids are smart. And they'll try to be divisive. So we just set that rule early on. The very next time, Mama says, no, you come ask me, you get in trouble. So that's what we mean when we talk about leaving, because, that relationship that you have at home, we're called to leave that relationship, and we're called to prepare our children to leave. We've counseled couples in the premarital stages, especially when guys, I can't remember the quote, people have told us stuff. One guy said, I can get another wife, I can't get another mother. Okay.
And what we wanted to help him understand is now mother is in her place. And if mother is in her right place, she will help you come toward your wife. But sometimes those mothers are not there, so you have to understand the relationship between the husband and wife. This is a great institution, so we have to help them understand your wife has a place and your mother has a place. Not to say that your mother is not important, but she does have her place.
Is anybody here not there? We have like dating couples or engaged couples? Because what I was going to say, okay, as you guys, I know, okay, now we do have somebody, but especially you who